Welcome. I am Ernie Goss, research faculty member here with AIM, that's Applied Information Management of Denver. Today we're going to report on the July results, our July Workforce Index. Now the Workforce Index is a ratio of online job openings to the number of unemployed. Online job openings to the unemployed. So thus, if the number gets higher, that's a better number. A 50 we think of as growth neutral. Anything above 50 is growth positive. Economy is growing at a faster pace, and that, of course, that's good, unless, of course, you're counting on slow to no growth. Those are bears out there, but we're not a bear, we're a bull here, folks. So talking about it. So again, we release this on the second Tuesday of every month. Again, these are the results for the month of July. Now let me tell you about the Workforce Index. That's AIM's Workforce Index for the month of July for Colorado. It went from 71.3 to 69.5. Still very strong, but down a bit, but still strong. Now, Colorado, where does Colorado rank among the states? The 50 states, went from 17th to 16th. So it improved in its ranking. Colorado did, even though the index came down a bit. So that's a good signal. The job market, I'll call it healthy and improving. Of course, we here at AIM, we track online job openings. AIM actually accumulates and has a career services where they provide online job openings to individuals out there and services to businesses. Now, where are the jobs? In terms of just brute numbers, the absolute numbers, first, sales. Secondly, management. So sales, number one, management, number two. Number three, customer services. We're seeing a lot of jobs there. Now, in terms of percentages of the workforce, in other words, take that number of job openings and divide it by the employment number. That's a little different story. The number one was finance. Got a lot of job openings, online job openings, relative to the number of employed in that particular occupation industry. Engineering was number two. Of course, that's good if you're talking about these are technical areas. That's a good thing if you're technically educated. Number three, customer services. Again, number of online job openings relative to the employment. So those are good. Now, what are the top states? So in other words, we just identified Colorado as moving in the right direction, one of the better states in the U.S., but not among the top. Not number one state, North Dakota. Anybody surprised about that? North Dakota didn't go into the recession, has not been in the recession, continues to expand. Watch out if you travel through North Dakota, they could stop you and put you to work. Great place to find a job, online job openings. Pennsylvania, number two. Now that's a little strange for an economist here. I don't see that repeated next month before I'm on board with Pennsylvania as a real strong job market, but it did come on strong as the workforce index. South Dakota, number three. Of course, South Dakota bumping up against North Dakota. That's good. Kansas jumping over Nebraska to Kansas, number four. And number five, Iowa. Again, these areas are dependent on energy and agriculture, even though agriculture is weakening, and I expect those to show up in the weeks and months ahead. But if you look at some industries, Iowa's number one in ethanol production, for example. There you're talking about cheap corn. Corn is now down below $4 a bushel. And you're talking about high oil prices. Very good for ethanol. That's good for the state of Iowa. Now, looking at Colorado's weekly earnings, average weekly earnings, still not good, not what we want to see. Up about 1.4% year over year. 1.4%, you don't need to be an economist to know that's not good. Inflation's 2%. Obviously, you're moving backwards, folks. If you're getting a 1.4% raise, not enough to keep up with inflation. Now, moving ahead, what the heck do you need to keep your eyes on in terms of protecting your investment, protecting your job, protecting your family's income, and so on and so forth? Watch out for retail sales on August the 13th. Very important number. Tells us about how the overall U.S. economy is performing. Has not been good lately. We need to see a number growing year over year, annualized, 5 to 6%. That's what we need to see. I don't think we're going to see it. The consumer remains very, very cautious about spending. Need to see that change. CPI comes out, that's the July CPI, on August the 19th. What's that number? It has been not as strong as I'd like to see. It's been below 2%. If it perks up to 3 to 4%, watch out. Now, why should you watch out? It means interest rates are going to be headed higher sooner than later. The Federal Reserve looks at these CPI numbers. They don't want to let inflation get out of control, so they're going to push interest rates up higher to combat higher inflation. Now, when do I think they're going to raise interest rates? First quarter of 2015. Now, if the CPI should start coming in at 4 to 5%, hey, they could raise in 2014. Don't think that's going to happen, though. Watch out for the August purchasing management indices, PMIs they're called, all across the U.S., all across the globe. Come out on September the 2nd, first business day of the month. Look out for the daily yield on U.S. Treasuries. Also, this is an odd one, Argentina. Argentina could default on their bonds this month or within days of this video. So when are they going to do it? I hope not, but they could very well do that. How would it affect your pocketbook? Oddly, it could be positive for your pocketbook. How is that? What happens is global investors get really scared, that's scared, of Argentina bonds, Venezuela bonds, and the list is long, and they don't buy them. In fact, they want to lend to the U.S., so it brings our interest rates down, not because we're doing so wonderfully, we're just the healthiest horse in the glue factory. So that's what we're seeing. That could be a good signal for interest rates. Now, the risk that you're facing, I'm facing, of course, you don't need to be an economist, it's outside of economics. It's what's going on in that man's head, that would be Mr. Putin. I don't know what's going on in his head, nor does anybody seem to know what's going on in his head, because he's of course taken Crimea. Now he's, at least to some degree, one would argue, bombing the rest of Ukraine. Now, what does that mean for the economics? It means that we've tightened sanctions, economic sanctions. What do you get? Retaliation. What do you get when you start restraining trade? Slower growth. So absent looking outside of the political considerations, the economic considerations are very bad. That's very bad for the economy. Of course, there are more important things than the economy, but I'm an economist. That's what I look at. So watch out there. So that's number one, to keep your eyes on what happens in terms of trade embargoes. So that's it. That's our survey. That's our results. Our workforce index, that's for Colorado for the month of July, will come out on the second Tuesday of September for the month of August. Thank you for joining us here in Denver, Colorado. I'm Ernie Goss with AIM. I'm a research professor, research faculty with AIM, Applied Information Management here in Denver, Colorado. Until we see you in the second Tuesday of September, may your economic cup runneth over. Thank you.